What is going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to talk about, or I'm going to do a series of videos that are basically, will these particular cryptocurrencies make it back to their previous all-time highs and make us money in the next bull cycle? As you know, many projects will die. They have no use cases. A lot of them, the legacy ones that came from the ICO era, just had cheap credit, and they were able to raise hundreds of millions of dollars in funding. But Chainlink is an outlier, and I want to give you the opportunity, because what I do with Chainlink, I do buy Chainlink on spot, but more importantly, I trade Chainlink with low leverage. That means I can hold a large swing trade for multiple months and make real money. So why is this one of the few that I think will break its previous all-time high of $54? Chainlink has one thing that's going for it, and that is it is the one oracle that will outlast, and it is essential infrastructure basically to the cryptocurrency market, and it's going to go nowhere with tokenization, with RWA, with crypto now being asked specifically on the Clarity Act to become a commodity. Chainlink basically has real business, real usage fees, protocol revenue share, and of course, it has enterprise as well as Web3 integrations. This is absolutely key. It has already securely enabled 27 trillion plus in transaction volume, and it is 100 billion plus of value secured in DeFi with 70% market share of the Oracle sector. Now, this is going to be key, right? Because if you're going to buy a cryptocurrency, if you're going to trade, and what I would say probably this is a low leverage trade, a swing trade, or a 10x spot hold, you're going to have to do some due diligence and say to yourself, look, a lot of rubbish is out there in the market today, and nobody is talking about these types of cryptocurrencies, purely because if you look at Chainlink, it sits at a $6 billion market cap. So retail does not believe in anything that's over $10 million. And that's a problem. That's how you're going to lose all your money. But I'm going to show you something here, right? Chainlink is not going to go anywhere. So whether you trade this at spot level, whether you trade this at a leverage, it is more important of you knowing why it's going to stay around. Now, the news surrounding Chainlink, of course, obviously has always been fairly consistent. It has done a 56 different integrations in the last 12 months. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. But I'm going to show you something here on the chart. There are a few key areas of resistance where I think Chainlink has to climb over. But compared to some of the other coins, like you got tons of rubbish out there, which will never, ever climb back to its previous all-time high. So the math is fairly simple. What we want to do is get to $54 from the current price of $8. Where do you buy, right? That is the essential question. So the first thing you probably need to do is understand what's above you right now. So you got $10 as the first major resistance. Of course, after $10, you need to get above this next level, which is here around that $14, $15 mark. And then after that, you've got obviously $20 and above will probably be a very good place where to look for either resistance or a breakout. So when I'm looking at Chainlink, the math for me is very simple. Where do you buy it? So what we've been doing at the DXB community is sending out this flow of alerts that goes all the way back to 2022 and 2023. So if you take the data in this particular area here, all the price action here, and where we are today, you would see that, including October's capitulation wick, we are pretty much buying this as if it was like 3-4 years ago, 4-5 years ago even, if you go all the way back to after it made its all-time high back in 2021. Okay, so the all-time high was $54, $52 depending on the exchange. And where would you buy it now? Now, the math is, for me, very, very simple. I look at this chart and I say, if it hasn't already made this, it lost the trend line, then it claimed this yellow line again. But if it hasn't already made the bottom, which could potentially be in, because it's been in this situation on the weekly 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? If you wanted to scoop the low, I would look at key levels such as this $4 level here, which is the bottom of the support zone, and I would look at this level here at $7 and just under $7, so around $6.70 to about $4.50 is the generational buy, particularly if we see the liquidity crunch and Bitcoin doing one last pullback. So there you have it. This is going to be one of the first ones I can tell you with confidence will survive multiple cycles. And as long as the crypto industry exists, Chainlink will be out there and it will be used, being an industry standard, as the Oracle platform that everybody is using. So DTCC, Robinhood, you name it. I mean, like I said, over 50 different banks and integrations have already been completed this year. This one is going to happen. Now, whether you make money or not is going to depend on how you see that trade. Do you see a spot trade for a 10x, right? For this potentially to go to $30, potentially $100, or just to go back to even $54, right? Even if you wait and scoop this at around average $5, you're still going to be able to make a 10x on Chainlink. Right now, it's not even a waiting game. It's a dollar cost averaging game, because what I'm seeing here is exactly what I saw when I last traded for a whopping 1,000% to the upside on a 5x leverage back all the way when Chainlink was in its bear market. It is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, and I'm not looking at the market cap. I don't make the rules, but I know this is going to go into perhaps over $100 billion or 10x its market cap. Let me know if you hold Chainlink. It is a very low risk, very high reward trade, and I think it's going to be one of the better ones to be trading in the next cycle. Take care, guys. Leave your comments, and I will bring you Will They Survive series part 2, and I will look at other cryptocurrencies that are not even worth holding, because obviously they will never ever go back to where they were. Take care.